even know Nate had his license. And then probably 6 years ago, we ended up at some small insurance meeting in Vegas and we got reconnected as far as on the insurance game. So I want to introduce you guys, co-owner of Gameplan Financial, Nathan Buergey. Nate, you want to jump on here and tell everybody a little about yourself and kind of your experience with telesales and insurance and kind of
Yeah.
see the vision of this thing?
Yeah. So just a quick correction. I moved here from San Diego to North Carolina in 2015. So that conference was actually in Las Vegas. I believe that was in 2016 because it was about a year. Within the first year, I had moved to North Carolina. And so that was probably about 9 years ago that we had reconnected, you know, like he was kind of alluding to, like, I mean, we hadn't seen each other in like 15 years. And then we just randomly like come across each other, in the insurance industry. And yeah, and then really we've basically been not so much at first, like the first 3 years or so since 2016, but definitely hardcore more like the last 6 years, kind of working together. So yeah, I got licensed in 2012 when I was living in San Diego. I had a sales background, and I was actually like on unemployment at the time, and I kind of didn't really know what I was gonna do. And then I started talking to one of my friends. He was actually one of my teammates. It's like you hear me refer to my teammates and stuff. I mean, I get sales from my teammates. All my friends are related to football. It seems like that's been like part of my life as far back as I can remember. But anyways, I was talking to him. He worked for AIG. Of course, we all know AIG is now Corbridge. They had a location in San Diego, so he got me an interview there, ended up getting hired there. They sent me to insurance school. Basically you go to insurance school for like a week. They just bludgeon you with all the insurance information. And then I took the test, passed it the first time, luckily, because there was people I worked with at AIG, like the guy that hired me. I think he said he took it like 3 or 4 times, which is fine. I mean, all you got to do is pass the test. Um, and you learn most of the important stuff once you get here. But anyways, started working there, and I worked for AIG for 3 years, and then I kind of worked out here, or I moved out to North Carolina, and I was kind of doing a little bit of everything at first. I was doing Uber at that time, even that was like 2016, and I pick up this guy, um, you know, intoxicated. He's intoxicated. I'm picking him up from a bar, doing Uber. I'm driving him home. I start talking to him, and he was working for like Symmetry Financial at the time. And so basically, he gave me his card, and we ended up meeting and blah, blah, blah. Don't want to bore everyone, but one thing led to another, and that's kind of how I got into the brokerage world. And like, I had no idea this world even existed. So basically, I've kind of been in this space for the last 9 years or so. But yeah, where I learned a ton of my information, what I really think I can bring to this team is the 3 years that I was at AIG, we were all phone sales. I was licensed in 48 states. We sold mostly AIG or American General products, but we were also an agency. We were actually, when I first started working there, we were Matrix Direct. I don't know if anybody remembers them. They used to have 800, the 800 number commercials on TV all the time. Then we had switched to AIG Direct. So we were basically a subsidiary of Corbridge. And so with that, we had the option to sell other products as well. We didn't just have to sell American General. We could sell Transamerica, Gerber, Mutual of Omaha, if the situation called for it. But in that 3 years, like I said, I learned a ton. I had a really good sales trainer. Our training there was really good. And basically, it's just like we're doing, like I'm doing now. I have my script. I go through the script. You're going from point A to point B, and you're solidifying that application, And that's really where I think that's going to be one of my strengths to this team is kind of being an example for everyone on here. My goal going forward, as I'm kind of pulled all these different new directions and stuff, what I really want to focus on is just being that example for people. I'm going to try to, be unmuted as much as possible. I mean, there might be some days where I'm not just because I have other responsibilities, but like after this, I have a few things I need to take care of today. Like I always have my little post-it note of insurance company I need to call, or forms I need to take care of, or whatever it may be. But I'm gonna kind of put that stuff on the back burner, and I just want to take some transfers today. And yeah, anytime anyone's struggling or anything like that, I would just say like try to tap in, get on the Zoom. We have people who are doing very well. Someone like me, I might have more experience on the phone, but we also have people, like Mikey. I don't know, is Mikey on here? I don't see him on here, but anyways, I think we're gonna talk. What's that?
I didn't see him on here, no.
Okay. Well, anyways, I was just briefly, real quick. I think we are going to talk about him on a later meeting, but I mean, he's fairly new to the industry and he's just like taken off like on the last 2 or 3 months. It's like he's the point now, like me and him. I mean, I think if we log in each day and we set our minds to it, we have almost 100% confidence we can write an app on any given day, and that's how it should be. But and like I said, he barely even has, not even a sliver of the experience I do. He's just all of a sudden in the last 2 or 3 months, it's kind of like kicked in for him, and it's registered upstairs. That light bulb went off, and he knows what he's doing now. And we want to try to get as many people as possible for that switched, that light bulb to go off and just get it all of a sudden, just start running. So obviously some people are going to be at different levels. We're going to have different obstacles. But yeah, the other thing I want to bring to, I feel, very confident in like IUL illustrations, even more so like annuities the last few months. So if anybody ever needs any kind of like sales ideas, especially with anything really, I mean, that's kind of what I'm bringing to the table. And other than that, I mean, I feel like I could ramble on forever, but that's kind of the gist of it. So I'm definitely very excited about the future of where we can go with this. And I hope to help people however I can and wish everybody luck. So
I love it, Nate. Nate's definitely a great person to partner with here. He's the example. He's going to lead from the front with a lot of telesales, right on Zoom, unmuted, right in front of everybody's face. Sometimes you gotta just show the people you know how to do the thing. So that I'm super excited about that. Thank you for the love on the website. So you guys, I dropped this website inside the chat here. I'm going to talk a little bit fast, so don't worry about that. But so this site is not meant to impress or be super beautiful or anything. It's just meant to be a resource center for the team. When you guys go in and click the logo here, it's going to bring you into a new membership site that we're stacking out for Gameplan Financial Group. Inside of here are some different channels on the left. It's kind of like Slack, right? But what I want to just bring your attention to that we'll be going through, throughout the week, click around. It's pretty user friendly in here. Feel free to click around. But if we go to the events tab, I want you to plug in this meeting right here. You can click on the event and go ahead and add it to your calendar. It'll have the link for the trainings. Every Wednesday, we're going to do an advanced market sales training. This is going to be about IULs, debt-free life, infinite banking, annuities. We're running some annuities through Advisor Excel through our Quility contracts. We got another sister company launching annuity seminars and things like that. So get with us if that's something you want to apply for. Not everybody's going to go that route, but you just got to apply for it. We'll do an interview, see if it's a right fit for you. But this website right here is meant to be a click machine, okay? So feel free to click around. There's just a ton of information on it. It links over to our drive, a ton of things to help you guys succeed with scripts, trainings. We'll launch courses inside of this membership platform. That's another thing that I'm excited about. If I click these 9 dots up here, we got courses over here that will be launching out. So plug into the training. I think we got to show up, we got to show up for ourselves as far as always learning, right? We got to keep learning because the more we know on how to serve families with the different concepts of life insurance, the more we're going to be able to identify how to help our clients, right? So some of the basic concepts on how to sell insurance. And I know I'm talking quick right here because I want to get to Sam Gisyer here in a second. Sam, you still on? Oh, I see Sam. There he is. So income replacement, debt protection, education funding, final expenses, business planning, cash value. I can share this in the WhatsApp chat. Wealth transfer and estate planning, living benefits nowadays are huge, right? And then tax advantage strategies with tax-free retirement, cash value, tax deferred plans, things like that. So increasing your knowledge on this is going to allow you to find these opportunities with our clients. Okay. Talking to business owners, drop a 7 in the chat if you think talking to business owners makes a lot of sense. Okay. We sell a lot of final expense. I think with final expense sales, don't you think that older people are more interested in life insurance sometimes, like the death benefit? Is that true? Like, have you ever talked to a younger person? They tell you, I don't need it. Well, man, we don't need it until we actually need it, right? But with the young people, with different products, there's always a German Shepherd of the product. So that would be like the security, the protection, the death benefit. A lot of our younger clients, they're not attracted to that. They don't feel like something is going to happen, even though the first death claim ever in our agency was 33 years old, married, and 3 kids. So we know it does happen. But personally, I've never been an agent that sells off of fear, meaning, hey, buy a policy today because you could die tomorrow. That's just never been my style. But with the younger crowd, what they are attracted to is more of the gold medals of the product, which would be tax-free retirement, you know, tax-free growth, cash value, systems like the Shield, things like that. The younger crowd, they're more attracted to that. Does that make sense? Drop 7 in the chat if that makes sense to you guys. And so learning how to use these different concepts to identify them within our lead base so that we know when we're speaking to our clients, okay, this is what's going to motivate this person to sell, right? And so I want to introduce you guys. I'm super excited about you guys meeting Sam. Sam has been doing group health and life for 30 years, a long time. This guy's very educated on how to serve businesses with the most recent up-to-date programs with group health insurance, bringing value to these companies so that he can build relationships with them to find bigger IULs and annuities as well in the cross-sell, but also building monthly renewals on health insurance. Sam, you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good to see you. We're super excited. And so I'm just happy that we have somebody that we can direct agents to when they do come across those businesses, whether you know them in your warm market or you come across them through your lead flow. We now have the opportunity to kind of like leverage in a good way, Sam's expertise. Sam, are you literally willing to like jump on the Zoom with business owners and help us close these?
That's what I do all day. As a matter of fact, I got multiple monitors. So I got 2 cases now in implementation right now that a couple of my teammates are running. So I'm just trying to keep tabs on that. So I apologize for not looking directly into the camera and give my full attention. Absolutely. That's what I do all day, every day. That's kind of the piece of the business that I fell into, is getting on those presentations and presenting the plans that we have to offer them. And also implementation meetings. But a little bit about me, guys. Glad to be here. About 30 years. Makes me feel real old when I hear somebody else say it, but almost 30 years in the business. I started out as a stockbroker with the old firm A.G. Edwards and Sons. And in about 3 years, I was managing about $30 million in assets under management. Loved the work. Very, very taxing, managing other people's money. I still trade because I'm a trader by nature. That's how I got into the business. But I want to help more people, right? there was only a certain demographic coming into my office at the time and dropping, $250,000 minimum was the minimum at that time for me to invest their funds. So I switched entirely to first life insurance primarily, and kind of fell into the group space by accident. Actually, I started meeting people that were business owners and started hearing the conversations they were having with traditional healthcare. The issues you see in traditional healthcare didn't start 3 years ago. I'm going 12, 15 years ago when it started. Then ACA came out, and that's depends on how you feel about that. It got a little bit worse, right? But there's always been solutions in the healthcare space. It's just that people, us brokers and advisors, were not aware of them because those companies move a little bit different than your Blue Cross and Blue Shield. But just to give an overview of how we're doing this, is we're getting in front of the business owners or HR manager, even a director for that manager. I really don't talk to CFOs because they're just going to knock it down from the start. I've had some interesting conversations with them. I actually trained CPAs on the actual tax codes that make these plans work. That always surprises me, but I understand where they're coming from because the tax code is huge and it's ever changing. I still think they should know, if you have business owners clients, you should know what are the things that can affect the success of those business owners. Just one of my pet peeves. But once we get that decision maker on board, it's kind of a really cool system, guys. First of all, you can have that business owner as a client, and now you're creating a warm market with all those employees. They are going to look to you and come to you the way we do it. They're going to look to you, the agent, and come to you for more products and services. We know the magic number, right? 3 products or services, that's your client for life. All you got to do is service them after that, right? So we can help you do that very easily because of how we go to market. We're doing something to get them started where it's actually going to put money back into their paycheck, and it's going to save the business owner money on FICA taxes. So you can imagine we got everybody's attention when we say that, right? And this is IRS compliant, by the way. So you might get those crazy comments about, oh, too good to be true. I would walk away from that person. I really don't deal with those mindsets. There's too many people out there that are going to have an open mind, that are looking for solutions, and are going to listen to you. That's just how I move in my years. I really don't. Time is that one commodity we can't what? Get back, right? I don't like wasting a lot of time. I'm not here to sell anybody anything. I don't sell to agents. I don't sell to IMOs. I don't sell to clients, nobody. I provide solutions that work. If you're open to it, you probably have some business owners out there with 10, 25, 30, 50 employees that need these solutions. It's just a matter of getting them on a Zoom meeting. I'll take care of the rest for you. These are your cases. I'm pretty different. I got trained different in this marketplace. I'm not one of those people that's trying to take somebody's business and more so their commission. You will always, hear me clearly, get the bulk of your commissions on your cases. Okay, I'm a volume guy, and I love helping people. If you're trying to learn something about the business or have questions about anything that I know about, I will make time for you. We're going to be setting up training on this whole flow. What I'm going to show you guys is not static. And I don't know if Steve wants me to go down the rabbit hole on that right now, but what I mean by that is I've kind of perfected what I'm doing. It does not mean it's going to work for everyone. If you have another carrier, if you have whatever you want to embed in a system, it's entirely up to you because we all have our favorite carriers and products, right? And if it's working for you, why change it? But I can guarantee you there's a couple things I can add to that that'll make it a whole lot better and smoother for you. Happy to be here. I love this work. I don't ever think I'll retire from doing this in one capacity or another. It's just, we don't break a sweat, right? If you love people and you're continuously educating yourself and getting better at your craft, why retire? I have a mentor that's now 89 years old, still writing business every other day. He's not as out there like he used to be, but still writing business every 2 or 3 days. Again, I like to give people a little warning. My whole method of thinking is a little bit different. I do a lot of business from Facebook and social media, just organic. I'm going to be doing what I call a personal pension talk tomorrow. It just amazed me that a lot of people still don't know about how certain products work for their benefit. Now it's the time for annuities right now with the market going up and down. I just got a couple of nice ones last week. But anyway, I'll jump on some of these calls, Stephen, to kind of embed myself in the culture here and what you guys are doing so I can only bring positivity and hopefully some added success to everybody who's going to partake in what I know.
I love it, Sam. So glad you're here, man. So, you guys, I think it's just important to know like that you have people here you can lean on, you know? So drop a two in the chat if you know a business owner. You know, like one big problem for businesses is employee retention, right? And being able to build health insurance programs around that for them will create some longevity, hopefully, you know, within their businesses. Like my wife, she's a part owner in an HVAC company. These HVAC guys, they jump from HVAC company to HVAC company to HVAC company, kind of like some of the life insurance people that jump from IMO to IMO to IMO, right? And so if we can help these companies like have better benefits, there's a lot of benefits that we provide to the businesses. So the other thing, y'all, is that's monthly renewals. That's money that's coming in every month. As long as that company is on the books, that's coming in every month. One of Nick's new agents is working on a 63 group, a business of 63 employees. Sam, is there anything you want to say on monthly
Yeah, you just
renewals?
reminded
Yeah.
me. Also, guys, no chargebacks.
Right?
So it was an old school. We don't hear it a lot anymore, Stephen. But if you ever meet one of these old school insurance guys, you're gonna hear something called building a book of business. You build a book of business on residual income. That's what they meant by that, right? This everything I have in my arsenal, no chargebacks. You just steadily building that book of business that's going to keep going as long as they're on the books. You get paid. You keep getting paid that monthly residual. Game changer. Now couple that with what you do, what doing with final expense, term, your IULs, that nice fat annuity that you stumble into. It's a beautiful way. It's a beautiful thing, guys. It really is.
Very cool, you know, and then we got Mr. Jeremy Bell that we'll get on here really quick in the next coming weeks, who's running our medical department. And so we got all these niches, and it's just about not being scattered and all over the place. It's more about being a well-rounded agent so that when you're speaking with your clients and you see the opportunity, you're there to serve them.